Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Common Theologian, where we have common conversations about God. My name is Krista Ewart, and this week I sat down with my friend Ryan Cook. Ryan is ordained in the Church of England. He worked as the chaplain at the University of Liverpool, but then he moved back to Canada, where he currently works in the downtown Eastside of Vancouver, British Columbia. Now, the downtown Eastside is a very densely populated area, and it has a complex spectrum of issues such as mental illness, drug use, and poverty. So we talked a little bit about common perceptions of poverty. We looked at what the Bible had to say about how Jesus responded to the poor, and then in turn, what our response should be. I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think about the poor? What are your perceptions, and how do you think we should respond in a godly way? To listen to the full podcast or read more about my conversation with Ryan, please check out www.thecommontheologian.com. And if you liked this post and found it interesting, please like and share.
Whereabouts in Vancouver are you?
Yeah, well, working in the downtown East Side, which is kind of one of Canada's infamous, I would say in some senses, it's a bit of a ghetto. It's cordoned off into about 10 square blocks where there's a high population of people who are chronically homeless, about 5,000 injection drug users, and just high rates of poverty. So about 18,000 people in the downtown East Side proper, and about over 70% of those people would be sort of in either chronic poverty or drug use or homelessness. It's a bit of a strange setting in Vancouver, which, as you know, is like this stunningly beautiful first world country with so much prosperity, and house prices are through the roof, and everybody wants to live here. And then you got these 10 blocks where it seems like we've shoved, as someone I recently heard said, we've shoved Canada's poor.
I've actually been reading a book recently called Global Poverty by Justin Thacker, and there's this idea in it that, once in a while you stumble across these ideas. You may have seen it before, but suddenly it creates a complete paradigm shift in the way that you think about something. And what he's talking about is he starts off the book talking about creation and that we're all created in the image of God. But something that I had never given much thought to is the idea of being created in the image of God, not as individuals, but as a collective entity. And he draws on the theology of Jürgen Moltmann. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but anyway, just this idea.
Just got to say it with confidence. That's the main thing.
Jürgen. That the image does not reside as much in the individual, but in the whole of humanity as a corporate entity. And I just thought, wow, that was just one of those mind-blowing moments where I thought, if we kept that in mind, how would that change our perception of the poor or the disabled or anybody who is marginalized?
Yeah, as you're talking, I was thinking about this. I think it was Eugene Peterson who said that the poor are not a problem to be solved, but a people to be joined. And I think there is something about we can get off on the wrong foot when it comes to so we can sort of build a hierarchical structure where we serve down to whoever we are. People with power are serving down to people that who are perceived to not have power, who actually do not have power. But I think there's something about leveling the playing field where we see ourselves in solidarity, walking alongside the other. You want to talk about real ministry amongst the poor, though. Try to mention friendship. What does it mean to actually open your life? What does it mean to journey alongside? What does it mean to level the playing field and look people eye to eye and try to incorporate friends into your own relationship circle?
I want to bring it also back to our current situation. And, I've seen so much in the news and, just even seeing your Facebook feed about the situation with COVID-19.
We're ignoring them. I don't want to get into slighting anybody, because I know people are trying really hard, for the most part, especially smaller social service agencies on the ground. But there has been no macro action, as far as I can see it, to try to help these friends who all have compromised immune systems get off the street for a season of time, to potentially save their lives. I don't see it, and it makes me really nervous. Having said that, I do think that this is like an opportune moment to be a follower of Jesus. I don't. For some of us who have been living beyond our means, and some of us who have had such high expectations of what we need, will have an opportunity to rethink that. We'll be forced into rethinking that. And hopefully, actually, we might strike a different tone on what it means to have our needs met. And that will also overflow into the way that we think about, think and feel, and our empathy towards those who are vulnerable. It might even open up the door to sharing even more, because we know what that feels like all of a sudden. My sense and my hope is that we will look at who our neighbors are, which is basically the people who are in our immediate circles. We'll do what we can to serve those people, and then we'll as those folks have their needs met, we'll see what we can do about extending that circle ever more broadly.
Thanks for joining us. What do you think? Do you think that some of the points were spot on, or do you think we were way off? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you did like it, please like and share. And if you'd like to read more, please visit www.thecommontheologian.com.